Hello, John Dilworth here, and we are moving on. We have Jim opening this door, the broken door, and I'm observing something I'm not sure I like. See this elbow? See this arm? It goes down and then goes back up. And I wonder if I guess, see what it does. Well, now that I am reviewing, because it's important to examine our work and ask questions, as well as other aspects of our life, not just our drawings. But what happens, I see, is that it helps the drawing to go down. He's leaning back, and you see if he just goes like this, it doesn't really have there's something about it, the elbow going down, that makes this happen. It's a kind of phenomenon, but I like it, so I'm gonna leave it. And what do we have? He's opened the door, and he's going to take objects that are there. Let's review. So he's broken the glass, and now he has to grab these objects. And I've already decided I was going to not take them both one at a time, but I was going to take them at the same time, at both times. And let us review. I had marked off a tempo of every 8 frames, a third of a second. And this is where we are now. And so if he leans forward, he'll grab the gear here. And he'll grab it and then turn on this beat and out. So that's what I'm planning to do. And a lot of times, as you know, in animation and working on your own work, mysteries happen. But the most important thing is that we have these sheets and these timings, and they compel us to problem solve. And that is what we are going to do, because that's what we got to do. Okay, I just want to check something just for a moment. 57F. Right, so he does grab that gear, opens the door, and then grabs it. Right, so we're right. So what are we going to do? We're going to do the hair. Let's block in some hair. Let's block in some hair. Look at this, these disgusting things that I warn everybody about, and to use, but wash your hands. So I'm just going to take a little piece of this. A little piece of this. And this is courtesy of our friend Rodney, who gave us those wonderful boxes that I'm using. Oh, and I wanted to show you some little thing I did to it. You see, I just kind of finished them. Not finished them, but you know what I mean? I painted, I stained them, and I touched up some stuff. I didn't want to paint them all, but it looks much better. I mean, it is improved because of the color. But anyway, I love the box, and I really do love all of your great comments supporting my endeavors. And it's not easy, as you know. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to just take off a little piece of this, and I'll leave the rest in plastic, because this thing is also a chemical, and you don't want to put it in your mouth. But we're professionals, and we moved on from that kind of oral fixation. Lucky us. Okay, so let's get back to the hair business. Here's my blue pencil. I like using colors so that I could, I was looking, I got things. So look, he's going backwards. So what am I going to do? I'm going to find landmarks for myself. and start building this hair as a block, right? It's just as a block, because it's easier. If you let's remind ourselves of what it looks like. So this is a good example. So really what I'm doing is just doing this thing, and then I'll add these 3 spikes, which is so easy, right? And this is how we get through, breaking it down. And he's moving back, so his hair is going up, and now it's going to go down, right? So let me try this. And then this, and so, and of course, we're always thinking of stuff doesn't always move at the same time, the same way, to keep it interesting. All right, so we know we have, what, 3 little spikies here? He's got his hair, and he's moving back. And then I'll clean, we clean this up. The cleanup is the best part. For me, I can get lost in the cleanup, and everything else just fades around. Is that 3? That's 3. And I didn't do the eyebrows, so the eyebrows have to be done too. So this eyebrow is going to get lost a bit, and this one a little bit too. We want to stay in the models. And the cleanup, we'll get the cleanup to sort that out. And of course, Jim has got this all planned because he's done it before. You have to think that maybe he's done it. Maybe they got to break that glass every so often. Maybe so often. And then have it replaced. That's quite an expense. But this is the logic of animation. There is no logic. What I mean about that is, if you could alter the logic at any time, what would you say the logic is? Something very malleable, fluid, undependable. And the little details like his hands, the articulation of the hands, that I will, and the sleeves, all of that will come out in the cleanup, but sometimes I like to just play around. But we're doing hair, so let's concentrate and stick with the hair, Dilworth. And so again, I'm following this formula, and if you do it enough, it gets easier. So you see this main body of hair went down, and I would just keep it down. Because I guess we could say it's just drag. And then it'll pop up. And then this piece here could float over his eye, which makes it kind of, in a rock and roll way, sexy. Independent rock and roll. And then this little bit here. And that little bit there. And he's got that, right? This little piece here. And then this piece here. And slowly it all comes together. And we'll see it mostly when we have a few drawings to flip. All right, so then here's my landmark. I know that part's there. And you see, if you create these formulas, well, there are a formula. There are ways of managing your designs. And then this thing pops out and moves forward. So we want his hair to reflect that. So it's going to begin to agitate upward. And you may not feel it, but the next drawing after this you will. And then his hair will snap back like so. See that? Rop. Sometimes you want to exaggerate. I'm looking at this kid now, this bottom hair. And where should it go? Well, here, guess it's going to get caught. I'll give it a little. But still, you see, they're not mirror images of themselves. And this top piece is going to get lost. It'll be cut off. So it doesn't really matter what I do with it, to it. There. Oh, that's kind of kooky. All right, so what do we have? One more, right? One more. And I already have that bit. And I'm going to put this, it's about there. That's about it. And that hair is now, yeah, why not? Let me just do that. And then this piece will come up here. You see that? And sometimes I'll even give it an extra, just a hoo-hoo, just to make it interesting. And that's that hair, that's that top hair. We're going to keep it on model, so I'm going to have to extend this thing. And I do like that he has this piece of hair that hangs down. And this top piece is out of camera. It's cut off mostly, so we don't have a lot to worry about there. But he does move forward, so there it is. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's just see what we did with our hair. And this is secondary action. A secondary action. And that works out really well. It works out really well. So this door goes popping off to another layer. And I have that right here. You see that? So that pops on like that, right? And then this business is in here. This is the fun part, because now we get to grab stuff. And for those that like grabbing stuff, this is the time. Let me just, I hate to burn your eyeballs out. Well, there's the background. Remember that. Case of, we don't need this. We don't need this. But these two objects we do need. These two props, in other words. Props. Oh, I want to grab. How is that possible? Well, Dilworth, you always find something. I am going to have to cut that off. You see, if you see what I see, silly dilly. Let me just make a mark so I know to do it. Oopsies. I just don't want you to stare at something without... You see, I've got it's a match line. So let me just put that match line. Match BG 57. Right, so we don't want that, but I actually would like to use this as a guide when we're moving forward. Ha ha ha, little cheaty. Let me see if I have a layout that I could use. And yeah, I do. Let's just look at this for a sec. If this match, it should. So you know what? I'm gonna use this instead, temporarily. It gives me less drawings to have to look through, and I could deal with I can deal with Jim. And the door we don't need to worry about. What we want to think about is how is he going to grab this stuff? How is he going to grab it? I mean, they're going over in like that. Let's say I'm doing this little path right now because this is his hand, right? And you don't want to do too much. This is the grab. Let's say the grab is here and it follows through there, right? And so here, so we're just, I guess we're going to do an action guide, and these are always fun. Now this I'm really exaggerating, and then when he grabs that, he's got both, and it doesn't need to have, right? And then it's, it's like this, so his elbow, but we want it clear, and that's his hand, right? And he's got that, it's knuckle, 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 right? And so we knew, and that's going to be what, 4? We need 4, but we'll do 5. So this hand could go, we want this hand telegraphing. So I'm just roughing it out. So he's got to get, he has to, Dilworth, it would be great if you used words. I guess I could jump, no, it's too much to go. And how, okay, let's just remind ourselves, he leaned back, right? Just because the momentum of bodies and forms moving, I want them all to coordinate. And he's leaning, so he's going in, and his hands, so he just pulled back and he's leaning in, so you don't want to repeat that, but I would think, he's got this, right, scoliosis thing going on, which I love, Oh, maybe, well, anyway, he should be here, all right, so whoa, is this a time to use these filthy things? I think so. Wash your hands. Okay. So his body's here. We know that. Here's his other body, other part of his body. And it's the cutoffs over here. So we're not seeing any of that. So that's good. Let me get rid of that again. I want the inkers because I'm cutting it right. I'm cutting it too close. It should be lower. Of course, it's drawing. Okay, it's so much fun erasing, right? I want to erase certain relationships. I want to erase certain things I've said. I want to erase certain behavior that I can't redo. But if we had one of these magic erasers, all is restored. All is restored, like those great medieval legends or fables. Knights of the Round Table and Parsifal, looking for the Holy Grail, the thing that will restore the kingdom. What will what will restore our kingdom, the kingdom of our psyche, right? The inside of us. That's why we're doing art, to create some counterbalance to madness. And there's plenty of it, as you know. So our little guide, okay, so we need this, come back. So this is our strategic guide. We can look at it and see, I mean, I have it cut off so I don't, and I'll get these fingers, you know, you refine these things as you go along, and as you feel like you need to refine them, and soon enough, over effort and will, stuff starts to happen. So there's a hand. That's too fast, so we put this intermediate. So let's say that his shoulder starts to move. Now this is where a dark pencil, another pencil, blue, like a blue, let's say his shoulder starts to move now. Let's do things like this. And I like where that is. So by the time he grabs, he could be down there. So these are just for the hands. So I'm just doing this forearm. And I just want to see if, yeah, I'm going to put that angle. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. And then we can break this down and flip it and see how it works. I think that's very exciting. And we don't need a lot of noise for that because it's all here. So let's just try it. Let's just see how it goes. And the only thing that could happen is something exciting. Right? So I'm just going to, we know that, all right, so you're saying, okay, put some fingers in there. All right. And I'm being very lazy about the fingers. So, oopsie, what is this, 23? 24? Where's 24? Is this 24? No. What did I do? Oh, here's 24. Oh, dum-dum. That's what I needed. I needed this. 24, so this will be 25. We're getting back in the game here. 24. This is 24. Okay, so this is 25. E. All right, so you're ready? So we have this, and again, we will refine. But the most important thing is his shoulders here, now his shoulders down here, and we got this, right? Let's just keep going. E26. All right, so we don't know. Okay, so I'm going to smooth this thing out here. And that's his thumb. That's that thing. I'm just going to go there. So we have this. And maybe, again, we'll refine this. Now, what did I have? Let's see, if I turn the light, could I see? I'm just having too many. I don't know why it's hard to see in a lot of this stuff. I need super light box. Okay, let's get our filthy eraser and just help us guide some things. I don't want the video to be too long because might lose some of you. 26, 27. Here's 27. Here's another guide. All right, so, and here's that hand, right? So let me just do this because I'm really excited for the flip. I just want to flip the action to get a sense of what we're doing. And here I'll put the hand. And I wanted this elbow like that. Let's flip these. Let's just flip these. So his hand is there. We'll just cover that. You see that hand telegraphs pretty well. I'm letting everybody know he's going to grab this thing. First of all, he's looking at that stuff, right? So that's clear. Audiences know that's happening. And that's the important thing, right? To include everyone in with what's going on. And 27, this is going to be 28. Oh, this paper had a little funkiness on it. Let me flip it over. Looks like I had spilled something on it. 28, okay, and then here it is. He's now grabbed this stuff, and I think I had my elbow up, which is good, right? And then I'll put in those details, and then this will be 29 and the last. E29. And that is something like this. And the thumb's there, but the objects will be there. And it's right, so he's got his elbow and some foreshortening. I'm going to fix that, because you can get some really interesting dynamic. That's his then. We'll put that thing there and there, and don't worry, I'll put in all that other detail. Well, let's just see what we've got to see if our model, our guide, yielded any goodies, and then we could build on that. Now, there's of course lots. Oh, I already saw this just flipping and oh yeah, and then a hand will just turn. That, look at that. That works. No, see what I'll do now is I'll start thinking about the bigger shape, the form of the body, and how it should react. You know, these two big forms. Because now that I got this hand down, which is the lead, all the other stuff will fall into shape. Now, I want to introduce you to something interesting that I just come across recently in the past half year. Hold on, I'm missing something I need. Oh, here it is. Right. Okay, so hold on. Look at this. So you realize we are campaigning always to keep Dilly animating. And look at this. There are 5 of these. These pencils were from the production of this TV show. And 5. I have 5 of them, and I could autograph them to you or to who you want, but there's only 5. So write me at info@stretchfilms. Write me at info@stretchfilms. And you see, they work. Stretch Films, and let's raise some funds and spread this memorabilia to the world. Until next time, stay this way.